Destination Moon is a very well written episode of Rugrats, but I personally didn't enjoy it. This is the first segment of the 13th episode of the third season, and the reason I didn't really enjoy it very much is because most of it's set in their imagination. As I've mentioned previously, I'm not the biggest fan of the episodes where what we see is mostly what they're imagining. I don't hate it, and I do think it's a very creative way to tell the story, and I think when I was younger it might have appealed to me more. But because what I love about Rugrats, first of all, is the nostalgia of, their houses, the playpen, the yard, these familiar locations, and also analysing it from a child psychology perspective in the way that the babies interact with their real surroundings. It means that the imagination-based episodes just don't appeal to me personally, so I just wanted to clear that up, that I don't think it's a bad episode. It's not the episode's fault that I didn't care for it. That's down to me. But this involves Grandpa getting a trailer, and the babies think that it looks like a rocket ship, and by coincidence, Chuckie has lost his own space-themed toy. So they decide to get in this rocket ship and go to the moon. And of course they climb into the trailer, but Stu and Grandpa don't see them in the trailer, and they push the trailer into the garage, and the babies start to explore their surroundings, thinking they've landed on the moon. And I have to say, it's very clever the way they interact with the literal surroundings and how they perceive them in their imagination. It is very well done, very well written. There's a great exchange between Tommy and Chuckie about one small step and one giant leap, and I think that actually perfectly sums up the contrasting personalities of Tommy and Chuckie. Tommy the adventurer sees a lot of things as just a small step. Chuckie sees all of these things as a giant leap, and I love that. I thought it fits in with the space theme, such an iconic phrase, and it really spoke to the characters of Tommy and Chuckie. And there are a lot of other things in this that I thought were really well developed and very well written and really funny. When Didi said, "We're always so careful with the kids," I did actually laugh out loud a little bit, because no, you're not. It just amused me. Very, very, very well written. Maybe that's one too many berries. I'm trying to overcompensate for the fact that I didn't like the episode. But that's just my personal preference about my style of narratives, the type of narrative that I like. It just didn't speak to me. But I can still appreciate that it's very well written. It's not my favourite animation because a lot of it's kind of, the colour palette is very metallic. There are lots of kind of whites and greys and not a lot of vibrant colours, as is the nature of, space exploration. Everything's kind of a lot more earthy and metallic, and I prefer the bright colours of Rugrats. So for me personally, I have to say Destination Moon didn't speak to me, but I appreciate how very well written it is, and very creative. So it's not a bad episode at all, but it's never going to be a personal favourite.